In a quiet village surrounded by vast green fields and whispering forests, there lived a boy named Kolikoli. Born under a blood moon, his arrival marked by the untimely death of his parents, the villagers whispered that he was cursed, a wizard whose mere existence brought misfortune. Kolikoli was raised by his kind but frail grandmother, who often shielded him from the cruel gossip and mocking laughter that followed him wherever he went. Kolikoli had no friends. The children of the village avoided him, and when they did cross paths, they mocked him, calling him names and running away with laughter. Kolikoli spent most of his days helping his grandmother with chores and wandering the forest, where he found solace among the trees and streams. He often spoke to the animals, who seemed to understand him better than people ever could. One day, as Kolikoli wandered deeper into the forest than ever before, he stumbled upon a clearing he had never seen. At its center stood a colossal tree with silver leaves that shimmered in the sunlight. As he approached, he heard a voice, soft, melodic, and distinctly not human. "You are not what they say you are, Kolikoli," the voice whispered. Turning, he found himself face to face with a glowing, ethereal creature. The creature introduced itself as a guardian of the forest, a spirit bound to the ancient tree. It told Kolikoli that he had a unique gift, one that the villagers feared because they didn't understand it. The guardian offered to teach him about his true nature if he promised to use his powers wisely. Kolikoli began visiting the guardian daily. His lessons were both wondrous and challenging. He learned to listen to the whispers of the wind, to understand the language of the animals, and to feel the pulse of life in every leaf and stone. For the first time, Kolikoli felt a sense of belonging, though he kept his lessons a secret from everyone, even his grandmother. Meanwhile, strange things began happening in the village. Crops that had been failing suddenly thrived, and sick animals recovered overnight. The villagers began to suspect that Kolikoli was behind these miracles, but their fear turned to suspicion rather than gratitude. One day, a young girl from the village fell gravely ill. Her desperate parents, believing Kolikoli to be a wizard, accused him of cursing her. A mob gathered outside his grandmother's hut, demanding answers. Kolikoli was terrified but resolved to help the girl, despite their hatred. With the guardian's guidance, Kolikoli brewed a potion from rare herbs found deep within the forest. He delivered it to the girl's family under the watchful eyes of the angry villagers. To their amazement, the girl recovered within hours. But instead of gratitude, the villagers' fear deepened. The village elders convened to decide Kolikoli's fate. Some argued that he was a blessing in disguise, while others insisted he was a threat. Kolikoli's grandmother pleaded for his safety, but the elders' decision would have consequences that no one could foresee. Fearing his growing powers, the council decreed that Kolikoli must leave the village. Heartbroken but determined, Kolikoli set out on a journey into the unknown, carrying only a small bag of provisions and the knowledge he had gained from the guardian. Kolikoli's path led him through treacherous forests and across roaring rivers. Along the way, he encountered both friends and foes. He began to understand that his journey was not just about survival but about discovering who he truly was. He stumbled upon a mysterious village shrouded in perpetual twilight. The villagers there welcomed him, recognizing his gifts and sharing their own stories of exile and misunderstanding. They warned him of a dark force spreading through the land. An elder from the village of shadows revealed a prophecy about a child born under a blood moon who would bring balance to the world. Kolikoli began to wonder if his journey was part of something much larger. As Kolikoli traveled further, he began to encounter signs of the dark force, withered forests, abandoned villages, and creatures twisted by malevolence. He realized that his powers might be the key to confronting this growing threat. Determined to protect those who could not protect themselves, Kolikoli embraced his role as a guardian of the land. His journey transformed him from a lonely boy into a young hero, and his name became a symbol of hope for the oppressed. Kolikoli faced his first major battle when he encountered an army of shadowy creatures attacking a small settlement. Using his newfound powers, he rallied the villagers to defend their home and discovered the limits of his strength. He met other gifted individuals who, like him, had been shunned by their communities. Together, they formed an alliance to combat the spreading darkness, sharing knowledge and strength. Not everyone in Kolikoli's newfound alliance could be trusted. A traitor among them jeopardized their mission, forcing Kolikoli to make difficult decisions about trust and leadership. Kolikoli and his allies confronted the source of the darkness, a corrupted sorcerer seeking to unbalance the world for his own gain. The battle was fierce, testing Kolikoli's powers, resolve, and belief in himself. With the sorcerer defeated and the balance restored, Kolikoli returned to his village. The people, now understanding his true nature, welcomed him as a hero. Kolikoli forgave their past cruelty, knowing that fear had blinded them. He chose to stay, using his gifts to heal and protect, ensuring that his story would inspire generations to come.